What,
Mm-hmm.
what are the object-oriented programming you will have in Java? And what is the difference between C++ and Java?
No pointers.
No pointers. Very good.
Very elementary code banking applications in structured programming language have two variables for one account number and another for
Full
account
screen is not.
balance. Suppose a deposit for $100 is being made. Next, you will obviously show the latest account balance. An amount of $50 is withdrawn. Again, you show the latest account balance. In fact, for any further deposit or withdrawal operations, you would program the same steps again and again. Here the code for display of account number and account balance are exactly the same and is repeated throughout the program. Such repetition is a waste of programming efforts and increases coding costs and possibility of coding errors. With the advent of structured programming, common lines of your code were put in a structure called functions or methods, and wherever required, a simple call to their function is made. Now, if you can examine closely throughout the program, we are dealing with data or performing certain actions on the data. In fact, having data and performing operations on the data is the very basic characteristics of any software program. Thought leaders in software development came up with an idea to combine data and actions together. Hence the birth of object-oriented programming, commonly called OOPS. The same code in OOPS will have some data and the actions to be performed on that data. By this combining of data and action, we have several advantages over structured programming, namely abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. We will learn them in detail in succeeding tutorials.
So these are the advantages of object-oriented programming language, right? Java comes to the category of structured object-oriented programming language with advanced security concepts. Okay, right? So this is the basic of Java. Coming to the difference.
Welcome to Big Data Talk. This video, a Java program is a high-level and secure programming language. Java also provides platform independence, which means Java programs can run on any operating system. Diagram shows a Java program is converted to bytecode by using Java compiler, and this bytecode can run on any operating system with the help of JVM in each operating system. Here we will see some of the important components of Java. What is JDK? JDK is a development environment to develop Java applications. It includes JRE and development tools like Java compiler and debugger, etc. What is JRE? JRE is mainly used to run Java applications. It includes JVM and set of libraries. What is JVM? JVM converts bytecode to executable code and run on a machine. We will see how JVM works internally. JVM interprets bytecode line by line and converts into native understanding format of OS.
This is very, very important. Okay, please listen to that. That is how your .java code is being converted into bytecodes, and the operating system is, converting into the executable object code. Okay. So this is the flow of how your JVM, Java Virtual Machine, is working.
Bytecode can be further compiled for processor using just-in-time compiler or speed up the interpretation phase by reading the entire section of bytecode and converting into native understanding format of OS. JVM makes the Java technology as platform independence because in every operating system, JVM interprets the bytecode and converts into understanding format of OS. In this slide, we can see the clear picture of how Java program works. Here, half of the phase includes Java compile time environment and half of the phase includes Java runtime environment. After conversion of Java source code into bytecode, this bytecode enters into Java runtime environment.
The JVM is a combination of Java interpreter, JIT just-in-time compiler, and also the runtime system. Okay, so your bytecode, that is class, Java class, that will be given as an input to JVM, and all these together will convert that into object code, and that will be executed by your operating system.
There exists Java compiler and interpreter. The interpreter is used to increase the speed of interpretation and the runtime system generates the output. Here we will discuss data types in Java program. Data type specifies the size and type of values that can be stored in variables. Mainly data.
So basically Java data types can be divided into, can you tell? What is the new data type which is being introduced in Java? Anybody? Other than C++ data type, what new data type is being introduced in Java?
Reference. String.
References. That is interfaces. Majorly interfaces. Am I right? What about the interface? Alternative of interface in C++? Hello? Guys, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know about generic classes?
Yes.
Templates. STL you have studied in 5th unit. Oops. Do you remember? That's what the equivalent of interface is in Java. Okay. Right. So what about the pointers in Java? Somebody would have already started. Is there any pointer in Java?
No pointers.
No pointers. So how then the functionality is being replaced in Java?
References.
These reference types of classes, interfaces, arrays, object itself, it's a pointer. Okay. So how can you get the current instance pointer of the currently active class or interface or array using which pointer in Java?
This pointer.
This pointer. Very good. Okay, ma'am. So we'll continue with the data types.
Data types are classified into two groups, primitive data types and reference data types. Primitive data types are predefined by the language. Reference data types is also known as non-primitive data types. These data types are defined by user using the concept of class, interface, and array. These data types are shown in figure clearly. In this table, we can clearly identify all the primitive data types, its default values, and sizes. These are the different operators which are supported in Java.
These are operators. So let me just post the links. Okay. So all these basic links, you just
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
inform
ma'am.
yourself with the Java concepts.
Programming,
Okay, ma'am.
application
Yes, ma'am.
development. Most of these operators are similar to C++ programming language. Java programming supports three keywords, which are shown in slide. These keywords comes under data types, flow controls, object level, exception, etc. We must not use these keywords as identifiers or variables during programming. Otherwise, it raises compile time error. Now we will see what are expressions, statements and blocks in Java programming. What is expression? It is a construct made up of variables, operators and method invocations. And expressions are constructed according to the syntax of the language. In an example, we can clearly observe result is an integer type variable. It contains 1 plus 2, that is 3. What is a statement? A statement in Java programming forms a complete unit of execution. In example, there are 3 statements, that is assignment statement, increment statement and method invocation statement. A block is a group of statements within balanced braces, or we can say statements within open and closed curly brackets is nothing but a block. In slide we can observe clearly condition is true statement belongs to block 1. Condition is false belongs to block 2. What is class in Java? Class is a collection of data members and associated methods. Or we can define the process of binding the data members and associated methods in a single unit is nothing but class. The purpose of class is to develop user-defined data type. In example, you can observe clearly car is a class and type, fuel, color are the data members. Transport, running and repair are the methods of a class. A method is a block of code to perform specific business operations in order to fulfill the solutions for the real-time problems. In slide you can observe clearly example of a method. Define a method, that is my method, by receiving the arguments of arg1 and arg2. In code, we are calling two methods, method 1 and method 2. Here we will discuss what is object and how to create an object. Object is nothing but an instance of a class. Instance means allocating the sufficient amount of memory for data members and methods of a class. The syntax.
Please note down the difference here. Class without allocation of memory, but object, that is instance, which will have the memory which is allocated for both data and methods. Okay, and here in Java, functions are being known as methods. It will be known as methods, but in C++ you will be calling it as functions. So the reference of each object here is a pointer, implicitly as a pointer.
E is an object of ABC class. In the diagram, you can see E contains the reference address for data members of a class. Now we will see what is array.
Arrays.
An array is a collection of similar data type elements and length. Once the array size is declared, you cannot change during runtime. Next, we will see the example for array. In example, we can clearly identify an array index is always starts from 0 to maximum size minus 1. Here we declared size of array is 5. That's why the array size starts from 0 to 4. We are storing 5 elements in array by using for loop. That you can see this slide clearly. Access modifiers in Java specifies accessibility of a data member, method, constructor or class. There are
So I think you could have studied these access modifiers as access specifiers in C++ itself. Okay, do you remember? Protected
Yeah, ma'am.
specifier, where you will use protected. Private and public, you know. Protected, when you will use protected modifier in case of inheritance, right? When you are inheriting your classes in the child class, if you want to modify the access of a particular data member of the parent class, then you will be using protected. Okay, so that protected will improve the security of your data members, parent class data members. Okay,
There are
that's
four
what.
types of Java access modifiers: public, protected, private, default. Anything described as public methods in any class can access the data members. For protected, methods in the same or any child class can access the data members.
Yes.
In private, only methods